This is such a good question. What is the 3D? And I remember for ages, like in the first stages of myself sort of awakening and starting to like understand a little bit more, I had no idea what 3D meant, what 4D was, or what 5D was. But the way that I look at it is that it's a state of consciousness, right? So I'm going to talk about 3D, the 4D, and the 5D and my interpretations of those states of consciousness. But what I think is the most important thing to understand is that like 3D, 4D, 5D, they're not different physical places. They're not different planets. And as we move through the different states of consciousness, we're not going to a different place or anything like that. We're just simply shifting states of consciousness. And so the 3D state of consciousness is probably where most humans spend most of their time. And this is a world that is very heavily defined by the physical, what we can experience with our sight, our hands, our taste, our smell. This is where we identify ourselves by what we have, you know, how much money we make, who we spend our time with. And if you were to think of it like it was a video game, the 3D is where you are the character, right? You're being controlled, you're being played in the game. Whereas in the 4D, this is where we're sort of starting to awaken to the idea that maybe there is more and that perhaps we are more than just physical beings. And in this state, we kind of start feeling like, oh, I really want to pursue something. I really want to feel more fulfilled. I really want to, you know, follow my passion and find my purpose. And this state is where we start to take the controller and you become the player of the game. So the 4D is kind of like the gateway to the 5D, and a lot of people spend most of their time fluctuating between the 3D and the 4D, whereas the 5D is where we start to understand that you are the creator, you are your creator, I am my creator. You start to understand that there is no separation, we are all connected, you are everything, and we start to explore this idea of oneness. And from this state of consciousness, we start to radiate more love, we start to live with more love, live with more compassion. We're vibrating higher and we're understanding that everybody is on their own path and we're not trying to control them. We're not trying to control the outcomes. We just simply aren't interested in doing that anymore.